My old nemesis, Audacity. I see you've magically decided to stop recording my audio once again. Vile fiend! Yeah, I
You
fought Audacity a
vile
couple times.
fiend.
I've fought Audacity. That was one of my final boss fights, and I lost. Had to do some grinding, had to go back, it's like Windows Media Player, work my way up from there until I got to about level 80. Then I took Audacity down.
So you've been playing Bloodborne 2, huh?
I have been playing Bloodborne 2. That's exactly how things go. That's exactly what fighting Audacity is like. The joys of a podcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Planet Destiny podcast. This is episode 162. We are back once again to talk to you about the goings-on in the world of Destiny 2. And ooh boy, are there a lot of things going on. Things actually kind of need to chill out a little bit. It's kind of hard to keep up with all of it. But we're back. We've got our usual roundtable of hosts. We've got Nim, or
what's...
Nim's picture.
Yeah,
Hey.
it is just way too hot and muggy to use a camera, and I don't feel like...
Come on,
Yeah.
dude. Like, half the crowd shows up just to see sweaty Nim. That's the point of the show.
Literally nobody wants that.
They're literally subbing to the channel
Sweaty Nim.
for sweaty Nim.
New
I don't
emote?
want that.
New
New
emote.
emote.
New emote,
Oh,
sweaty
no.
Nim. It's just like, he's got his hair slicked down because he's always got nice hair. Just
Yeah.
got a little bit of a Fabio going on with just enough sweat to not be gross. That's
What happened with the intervention?
I'm pretty sure that's why people are subbing to the YouTube channel and to the Twitch. You're literally depriving people who've paid money to see sweaty Nim.
Well, I'm gonna make them work for it.
Because paying $5 isn't work enough. Ugh. Well, sharing the no face syndrome tonight, we've also got Miss Moonvald. Welcome back.
Hey. Yeah, see, Nem just doesn't want to have his camera on because he's like sweaty, but like I look like trash and I have for the past month. So you'll get the face back after Guardian Con, I promise.
You always say that, and I feel like you're lying to me.
I'm not. If you could see me, you'd understand. Like,
How am I supposed to know if I can't see you?
you have to trust me,
I-
TVL. You just have to trust me. Okay.
Famous last words. You have to trust me. You have to trust me. I've been burned by that one.
Are you telling me I'm not worthy of your trust?
Dan, I
That's
need
what I
extra
thought.
fingers to count how many times I've been burned by this. Like, throw up some digits, man. I'm at 10. This is all I've got. I need maybe about 15 more.
This many?
Maybe that
This
many?
many?
That number right there. The value of
This?
N. Speaking of
That's
which, Mr. Dan Fanity, what's up, man?
Oh, hi. I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We were talking a bit earlier about the weather, the heat and whatnot. You've got a tiny
Mhm.
fan now, so you're not
And
dying.
now, so I'm thinking that I need to get Mega Bagwitch one as well. I got a tiny little fan that is just silent. It just blows on my face the entire time I'm in my stream room, and it's super nice. So it was like
And
$5.
it's silent.
Tiny guy. Do you hear it?
I don't. No, it's
No.
It's silent. It's silent. It's great.
actually kind of incredible. I mean, usually having a fan on is a huge no-no for whenever you're recording any sorts of audio.
Oh, I know.
You just have to sit there and suffer through the insane heat of having a gigantic computer on. I'm glad you're not having to live that life right now. Sadly,
It,
that's what took Mega Magwitch from us. A moment of silence.
Like I said, Mega's dead. Sorry, chat.
me and his
Audience,
corpse
everybody.
will be on a me and his corpse will be on a plane on Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna be Weekend at Bernie's.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
I
it's
was
gonna be a
about to say that
Destiny
exact
version
same
of
thing.
Weekend at Bernie's. Just Dan dragging Mega's corpse around. He's sitting there. He's got it
No, of
puppeted
course
it up,
he's alive.
lifting things. No, he's
Going through
fine.
TSA. Going
Corpse
through
Mega
TSA.
probably smells about the same as regular Mega, so it'll be alright.
Really interested in
Don't-
seeing how you're gonna handle
Wow.
sitting on stage and doing a panel
Rude.
with Forsaken Mega.
Oh my god.
A Weekend at Guardian Con.
Weekend at Guardian
Boogity
Con.
on chat. I
Coming in
love
about
it.
a week. And of course,
Yeah.
Great boogity.
I'm the Black Link. Great start here. Guardian Con. That's a thing that's happening soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but Dan, myself,
Yes.
and the Black Link here, we're all gonna be there at Guardian Con. So if you see us, be sure to say hello. But there was also a little bit of info in the TWAB about Guardian Con that I think we should talk about because they are going to be bringing a playable version of Gambit Are you guys
Heck
excited?
yeah.
Because I'm
Indeed.
excited. I am like a little bit too excited. I think about
I'm
it.
excited for you guys.
I'm gonna like run through the convention, just elbowing people out of the way. You know.
So I was
Go ahead.
worried because like on the Guardian Con app, it has like this it shows just like 6 p.m. like just a window for Gambit. I was like, wait, hold on, they're only going to be there for a couple of hours. No, I
That's
don't
the
want
tournament.
this. Yes, that's the
Yeah.
tournament. That's what I realize now.
Yeah.
That is
So
also
for
going on
anybody,
Crucible Radio.
yes, exactly. For anybody who won't be going, the tournament for Gambit will be viewable on the Guardian Con Twitch page, I think, at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Dr. Lupo and MTashed are going to be commentating, and it's going to be fun. And I am definitely going to be there, and that's going to be on the main stage. So if you are there, come watch. There's also a huge number of people from Bungie that are going to be there as well.
They actually gave us a list of the people who are going to be showing up this
Yeah.
year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I should read the list?
Yes.
Go for it. Why not?
Okay.
Go
We
for it.
have
And their
and
titles.
I will, yeah, as outlined in the TWAB, they all have like titles, like fancy titles. And I do apologize if I pronounce anybody's name wrong because I probably will. So the Guardian Con away team consists of the brass, and for the brass we have Brittany Litchie and Matt Bianchi. Okay, and then the techs we have Scott Konkelberg, Jason Pate, and Nathan Henderson. And then the Gambit experts, we have Robbie Stevens, Peter Serrett, and Jared Burbach. The community team consists of Dylan Gaffner, Chris Shannon, and Griffin Bennett. And lastly, running the Bungie store, we have Katie Lennox and Chris Hauserman. So there's a ton of people from Bungie that are going to be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as far as I understand it, they'll be in their booth all day in that area with that Gambit exhibition. So I will definitely be spending a large portion of my day over there.
Yeah, I'd imagine a lot of people who are going to Guardian Con are probably doing so just so they can get their hands on that build of
Mhm.
Forsaken so they can play a little
Yeah.
bit of Gambit. I certainly don't have any dishonest ulterior motives like that. No, I'm going to see you people. Yeah, that's why.
God,
That's
I
why
hate
I'm
you
going.
so much.
That's absolutely 100% why I'm going to Guardian Con.
Well, see, as
Oh.
facetious as TBL can be, I am definitely excited about meeting people.
Oh my god.
I'm sure it's gonna be a fun time.
I know. Yeah, it will be fun. And Dan,
Yeah.
I cannot believe you're actually going. Dan, why don't you share a little bit about what happened
Holy
on your
butts.
Mm.
journey to be able to get here? Because I think that is a story that people would love to hear.
Holy butts. Yeah. So a couple weeks ago, like as far as I knew, a couple weeks ago, Mega and I were gonna ride with one of his buddies from Indiana down to Guardian Con, down to Tampa. That's about a 20-hour drive. That would have been a road trip and a half, and it would have been fun. I'm sure. But like through some circumstances, like he was unable to take us. He was unable to drive. So like Mega's like, "What are we going to do? I have no idea." And I was like, "I don't know. As long as you go, that's the important thing." So we posted about it, like trying to get him down there, and he goes, "You know what? Like screw it. I will buy us both plane tickets because he and I are kind of in the same like job situation where we're not necessarily working, and so he was going to purchase us both tickets. Then that canceled for whatever reason, and the flight went up in price, so he was able to purchase a ticket. And through the help of some lovable nerds such as Moonvald, Molly Ann, Volta Sass, Travis, and
I expect you to pay that back with
and
like
Hidden,
300%
yeah.
interest, by the way.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I'm editing. I'll edit every episode of the podcast. And so like, but it's through the help of you guys, I was able to purchase a plane ticket on the same flight as Mega, and yeah, so heading down there on Thursday, flying down Thursday, leaving Monday evening. So yeah, should be pretty cool.
It's been
Yeah,
quite the expedition to get you there, huh?
Oh my
yeah.
god! As long as it doesn't involve like a phone booth that travels through time, and then I end up having to face like death with a chessboard, I'll be fine.
You're telling me
Like,
you don't want to be the doctor.
I mean I don't want to be Bill or Ted. I want the
Oh, I
excellent
gotcha.
adventure.
Be excellent to one another.
Be excellent to one another. Like I want to meet George Carlin, but if I could skip all the
Oh,
rest of
yeah,
that stuff,
yeah,
that
yeah.
would be great. That'd be awesome.
God almighty.
That's all right. You got Rufus. He'll help you out. Rufus will help get you to Guardian Con. Don't worry. He'll take care of it for you. Yeah, it's gonna be we're about a week away, a little bit less than a week away from Guardian Con now. It's gonna be an exciting time. A lot of your favorite people are going to be there. There's no way we could have started this show off without talking about something our friends over on the Destiny Community Podcast literally just pulled off earlier today, blowing through a donation goal. I think taking it from like 45,000 to over $100,000 donated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's Teft right there, showing out like he always does. Love you, brother. But it's going to be a fun time. A lot of your favorite people are going to be there. It's going to be great to meet up with a lot of you guys and get to play Gambit. So I'm psyched for it.
Oh my god.
I'm ready.
Yeah, man.
I am. Ready.
Unbelievable.
Anything else nice you'd like to say about Guardian Con and the wonderful people who have set it up?
So Moon and I actually took part in so Saint 14 Project. They were doing a stream for the for St. Jude and for the overall Guardian Con like experience, and we helped. Moon and I both lost characters in Destiny 1 last night.
Oh yeah, I deleted my original day one warlock, and Dan deleted his day one hunter for
For charity.
I'm so
charity.
sorry.
Yeah.
Hey man, it was for the
Oh.
kids. It didn't hurt any less, but it was for the kids.
Yeah. Sacrifice is necessary.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Do you know how many hours you had on those characters?
I had on that one specifically, I looked it up, and it's so technically this one wasn't my day one. This was my day one when I got a PlayStation character. I had like 793 hours on that, which comes out to like a month of my life overall. And Jenny was like, "You spend a lot of time playing that game," and I was like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It for me it wasn't so much like time put in, but it was like that was the character through which I experienced Destiny for the first time. And like my first like that's how I learned to use a goddamn controller, right? Like D1 was my first like console game, first person shooter, first anything like that. So like deleting that warlock was just kind of that was an interesting experience. But that's kind of the real pain of it for me was through that. So
I mean,
boy.
thank you for your sacrifice. I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
No, it's okay, TBL.
Yeah, I'm glad we have you guys to make those wonderful
To be good
noble
people
sacrifices.
when not all of us can.
Yeah, you be good people.
Right.
Screw that. I need my warlock. I need my D1 character for stuffing things. Yeah, a lot of love. We actually had some of those guys, especially some from St. Jude on the DCP podcast this last week. It was a great episode. I definitely recommend everybody go and watch it because just talking a bit about the history of St. Jude and like all the work and stuff that they've done. Absolutely incredible people, incredible foundation, and everybody should send money to them. And you guys,
Yes.
Destiny community, you guys always blow it out of the water whenever there's any sort of charity kind of donation stream or anything like that, and you absolutely showed out today. Like chat was saying, I thought my boy Pope Bear was gonna have a heart attack. Like I didn't think he was gonna make it past today. Like keep that res on standby, Ghost, because my man Pope, man, was getting crunk up in there, and I appreciated it. It was a great time. Did you guys catch any of that stream?
I did not.
It was
I
great.
did not either.
Like I'd go back and watch that archive. It got
Yeah,
pretty
I
hyped
need to
towards.
go back and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
in total so far, their donation goal was 1.5 million. Is what it says on the GuardianCon app. Right now, they are at $1,472,454 raised.
Almost there, baby.
You
Yeah.
can do it.
Right
So-
there. We got plenty of
Definitely
time.
attainable.
Absolutely. And just think about that. $1.5 million
Yeah.
being raised by a bunch of Destiny players. Man, people
Yeah.
may have their complaints about the community. I love y'all. I love the community. Reddit, Bungie forums, Salt. I love y'all. Y'all always blow it out of the water whenever any kind of charity thing like this is brought up, and it always warms my heart. You guys are great. Love you.
This is what it's about, right? Like
Yeah, man.
even GuardianCon itself as an event is meant to just be a parallel to this whole charity thing, and God, it's so worth it. And it's so worth it just to go see all of your friends and
Yeah.
everybody that make up such an amazing community. And let me just basically reiterate what TBL said, but I love you guys so much. So much. You know. Oh,
Even you
God.
salty YouTube people.
Even you salty
I do it for
YouTube
you.
people.
I do it for you every week.
I know TBL does. I don't think one does.
That's all right. All you need is me. All you need is me. Just look at me.
I do it. I do it to prove them wrong. The salty people.
That's fun too.
Yeah, it is. I function purely because of spite. That is the only thing keeping me going.
It's the engine that keeps her going. Day in
Yes.
and day out. And scratch names off her wall. Today,
Mhm.
I got this motherfucker. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get you.
Every troll downed is just another notch on the wall, just carved
Yep.
in.
Come at me.
Take him down. That's what Shax would do. All right, what do you say we get into some of the Destiny news from this week? Because there's been a lot of it.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of that too.
Yeah, so we started out a little bit with the TWAB here. What do you say we dive back into that? Future War Cult. A round of applause for the War Cult for finally winning a faction rally in Destiny 2. And man, it was way closer than it should have been. Like,
Yeah.
did you guys see the results that Bungie
Yeah, we're-
posted?
Wasn't it like more people pledged Dead Orbit than Future War Cult? But
That dog
just-
is still mad about it. He's like, man, Dead Orbit had
That dog
41% of
pledged
pledges. 41%. Future War Cult had 31%. How did we lose? Yeah, it was
Well, look.
ludicrous.
It just goes to show that like when you're ready to fight for the future, you're gonna show up.
yeah, Watts, Miss 5000 Watts, I believe,
Yeah.
mentioned it's the Future War Cult work ethic.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, goddamn.
Yo, real shout out to those 2 or 3 people on the subreddit who like posted the 500 faction rank ups that they did individually for Future War Cult, because literally you carried it for everybody else.
My question for those people is, are you okay? Do you
They're probably not, but you know what? Sacrifices needed to be made, and you know
It's true.
I honor your sacrifice, soldier, because sheesh, I know I didn't put in that much work.
Lord almighty, yeah.
But yeah, the numbers were crazy. The percentage of pledge players went like this: 41% for Dead Orbit, 28% for New Monarchy, 31% for the Future War Cult. So Dead Orbit had everybody beat by a country mile for the total number of people pledged to it. But for the percent of total faction ranks earned, Dead Orbit had 37%, New Monarchy had 21%, and Future War Cult had 42%. It was within that 5-point margin of that Future War Cult was able to squeak out with the win there, guaranteeing that we got an awesome sidearm, which I'm happy
My-
with. I like the sidearm.
Is
My-
it good?
My favorite tweet about this event was from Ishtar Commander. It was a retweet. And it was somebody being like, really? Because Ishtar Commander threatened to shut down the app? Like, really? Future War Cult? That's bullshit.
Yeah, because Ishtar Commander came out and was like, if Future War Cult doesn't win this, we're deleting Ishtar Commander.
Mhm.
I kind of need them to not do that because I use that app. So thank you, everybody. Good job, guys. We did it. We did it, everyone. We got a nice sidearm, and we get to keep our nice database app that helps us not have to go to the tower anymore.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm a dim guy.
Dim's pretty good. Dim, it's a website now rather than an app, but it's still flawless. And the fact that you can like delete stuff and move stuff from Postmaster is incredible. I don't know what sort of sorcery they work to get that up and running on Dim, but
Yeah.
thumbs up from me.
If
Yeah.
I'm at lunch, it's Ishtar Commander. If I'm at home on my computer, Dim.
Okay, so who's your main piece? Dim?
I mean, if I'm at lunch, then it's Ishtar Commander. But
That's your
if I'm
side
at
piece.
home by my well, look, I love Nigel. I love Nigel to death.
Oh, that's Nigel, you hearing this?
Scandalous.
Nigel's a good dude. Nigel's a good dude.
Scandalous. Well, right on. What else did we have in the TWAB this week? Oh, we had a schedule change for the Prestige raid layers. I think originally they were going to drop both on the 17th when update 1.2.3 went live. We're seeing a change for that. Now, Eater of Worlds Prestige raid layer is going to be dropping at 11 a.m. Pacific time on July 17th, and the Spire of Stars will be starting up about 24 hours later on the 18th at around 10 a.m. Pacific time. The reason they're doing this is because they kind of want to stagger the start of both the Prestige raid layers. They can give people the opportunity to do the race for Worlds first. Previously, if they were going to be launching at the same time, it would have been kind of a mess to track several hundred fire teams all doing 2 separate activities. So they're staggering things out. On the 17th, about an hour after the update goes live, they're going to give you that kind of grace period to go ahead and download it. Allow at least all the teams to have a chance to download things before the clock starts. That'll start on the 17th. A day later, we get the Spire of Stars. Hopefully, it won't take 24 hours for one team to come victorious within the Prestige version of the Eater of Worlds. I that would be weird. I don't think it's possible, but it would be weird because they're not even like. Could you imagine if a raid layer was stuck in if you were stuck in a raid for 24 hours? Has that happened? Has anybody streamed 24 hours of like a first raid attempt?
Oh my god.
I think the longest I've
I've
ever been in one has been like maybe 8. Maybe.
Yeah.
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 I've
been on 8 hours as well. That was Wrath of the Machine.
Oh man, nobody had any clue what to do in that thing.
Oh my god. So many angry people on LFG. So many angry people on LFG that day.
I remember when Wrath of the Machine came out and Rise of Iron. I was in Vegas at the time, and it was glorious. I was in Vegas at the time, and I was on vacation in Vegas, and I'm sitting at a resort, literally on my laptop, laid out in front of a pool, multi-twitching Tefty and the DCP group, King Gathalion, and the legend himself, their clan, all just running it, and I'm just like, swigs glass of champagne. Glorious. This is glorious entertainment.
Glory.
It was like 4 hours of them just slamming their heads against walls. It was great.
TBL just casually foreshadowing Callus. There.
I was casual Callus. That was me. I was in my trunks. I was out there, man.
TBL
Oh
is
my
Callus.
god.
That's right.
I need a t-shirt with TBL as casual Callus now. I need that. I will wear that every podcast.
As long as I'm wearing Speedos. That's the only way I will sign off for my likeness on that. If I'm wearing Speedos, I have no problem being casual Callus.
Internet, make it
get on that
happen.
merch. We'll make it happen. Yeah.
Oh,
It was great. So are you guys gonna try to go for Worlds first when it comes to the prestige stuff?
No.
You gotta
God,
believe
no.
in yourself, Moon. You gotta believe.
Listen, I haven't even done the Spire of Stars yet.
Oh, we need to drag you through that. It's not that bad.
Well, you're all on PC, so I don't know.
Well, get on PC then. I can do silly
Give
voices
me
too.
$1,000 and then we'll talk about it.
What did I tell you last week?
I don't.
What did I say to
remember.
you
I don't
last week?
Listen to what you say to me.
Make it a Patreon tier. If you want money from TBL, that's how you get it. That's the only way. You gotta make it a Patreon tier. I
I'm
have
just
to
gonna
feel
make
like
a GoFundMe.
I'm getting something exclusive over somebody else. That's the only way. It's the only way.
Okay. Sure. God
What about you, Nim?
no.
damn. No.
Not even for Eater of Worlds?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't care for the gear. There's no reason for me to do it.
I am not
Dad
a big fan.
The dad bod gear? Not
Yeah.
even for the sweet 400 power level loot?
We're gonna start off Forsaken with like 400 power stuff.
Yeah, you're
it's
gonna get maybe a
oh,
5-minute head start on
Yeah.
everybody in Forsaken.
It was like when Taken King came out and like everybody was taking in their Fatebringers, like in the
Mhm.
first couple missions, and then the next blue that dropped was like twice as high light level than the Fatebringer. I was like, oh well,
Oh man.
goodbye, old friend.
I can't think of
Uh.
many more emasculating moments in like my gaming life than that. Rolling into the beginning of the Taken King. First story mission was on what, Phobos?
Phobos, yeah.
With the
Yeah.
spooky the centurion who like pops behind a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
he spooked me. That guy spooked me. But rolling in there with like my Fatebringer and Black Hammer and Yallarhorn being like, hey yo, I'm about to destroy this story mission. Picking up a blue and it's like, this everything.
Better.
The entirety of my Destiny EP has just been, and his EP
Small.
shrunk 3 sizes that day. I felt small. I felt inadequate. It wasn't great. I didn't enjoy it. And it's
Yeah.
going to happen again in like less than 60 days. I don't know how to handle it.
Exactly. See, like, okay, like, sure, having that 400 power level, like, is gonna look nice, but
Mhm.
really unnecessary at the moment because it's not
Yeah.
even necessary for escalation protocol. Like,
Yeah.
you can run
Not
it
anymore.
yeah, not anymore. You can run it at like have a group of like between like 350 even, or 360 all the way up to 385, and like you guys will still be fine.
Fine.
Yeah, you'll be complete. And like the ornaments, no. That's
Yeah, big no.
So it's just like there's really, at least personally, internet don't jump down my throat. Personally, there's no reason for me to do for me to do this. Like, there's just not. I'd rather get my Solstice of Heroes stuff, or
Yeah.
all
Oh,
that stuff
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit, but I'd rather get that done over than do the prestige raids.
I agree.
Yeah, because we've got Solstice of Heroes starting up at the end of the month, and we actually learned a bit more about that today. Speaking of things,
What did we
to
learn,
do,
TBS?
what did we learn? Well, we learned that Moments of Triumph are active in Destiny 2 right now, and that those are going to be tied directly in with the Solstice of Heroes event that's going to be dropping later on this month. Now, we still don't really know what exactly Solstice is supposed to be. We just know it's going to have a bunch of challenges tied to it. But we learned about some of the Moments of Triumph. They're actually live in the game right now. There's a couple of things you can do to earn towards getting some of those exclusive Year 1 rewards. If you head to Bungie.net right now, log into your account, you can actually head to a new Moments of Triumph page where you can track and see what you've already got done on your character, what you still need to do. And I do believe probably most of us here had a lot of the stuff on that list done already, right? Because they made the mention that
Yeah.
if you've been playing a lot of D2, you're going to have a lot of the things that are available right now already done, just like with
Yeah.
previous Moments of Triumph in like D1. But there are a couple of things that are tied directly to the Solstice of Heroes that provide challenges that we aren't quite aware of right now. I don't know if you guys want to speculate on what some of that stuff is. I have no clue.
I don't know, man. I mean, I have a feeling they're going to tie into with like the some of the prestige stuff, like the prestige raids,
Definitely.
perhaps.
Probably, yeah.
But other than that, maybe they'll bring out like different events tied to the Solstice of Heroes, and that's probably going to require some kind of completion for that. But
Yeah,
I'm excited
yeah.
for it. There's like we do get a small teaser at some of the gear and the vanity
Ew.
items behind
Mhm.
the Solstice of Heroes, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, okay, I get
That
it
ghost.
that like the ghost. Oh my
I
god!
want it.
First, all right, can we agree that they made the right
Chode?
choice?
Is that what you just said? They made the right chode? I agree.
choice
That ghost is the
choice
chode.
in the body of the ghost.
I
Yeah.
hate. Okay, I really, really, really hate the round ghost.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ugh, me too.
I do too. I
understand
can't get
some
on
people
board
like
with that
them.
ghost.
I hate them. It's
It-
just an aesthetic. It's a subjective thing, right? But like, I
There's-
don't.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There's a
Please.
van around the block from my house that looks like the disco ball ghost.
But
And
anyways,
every time
yeah.
I see that, I'm just like,
Like I think the ghost and the sparrow looks great. The little teaser that we got for the gear looks beautiful as well. And yeah, I'm excited for it. Like
Yeah.
that's what I want to get.
Yeah, so we got
You
this
give me
awesome.
anything that's white and gold and all, like,
Oh yeah.
mhm.
I'll take it.
Which
No
by the
matter
way,
what.
Nim, I agree. I think it was you on Twitter who compared this stuff to like Warframe.
Yes.
I agree, 100%. This
Yes.
is some Warframe looking stuff we're getting in the
Oh yeah, we're
Sparrow.
getting the Vanguard Prime gear is what's happening right now.
I don't know what that means.
Listen, play Warframe. It's free.
I'm too
It's great.
I'm too stupid to play Warframe, TBO.
The
I don't know
Orc
what's
can
going
have
on in Warframe. I
reached-
just play it because it's fun. You
I have
move
a tiny
fast.
squirrel brain, and I like can't understand crafting. I can't. It just goes. It's so opaque to me. I don't know.
Oh, I have no idea what's going on in Warframe. I don't know how to make stuff. I've been stuck on like the same story mission for the past 5 years. I just play it because it's fun to move around and shoot things in Warframe.
Oh,
So
buddy.
I'm right
The
with
movement
I'm right
is
there with you.
beautiful, I do agree.
But yeah, some of this stuff is great. We just put an article to it in the chat if you guys want to go and check it out. I love the white and gold trim. It just
Yep.
looks good. And
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
great.
I agree, Moon. I'm glad they picked that ghost model because the round ones are kind of ugly.
They are very ugly. I'm
A
sorry,
little-
Bungie.
Little ugly.
Like the reason I
And
play
the-
this game, half the reason I play this game is because I love the aesthetic and the artistic
Even
design and
the,
like all
uh,
that stuff. But just some things, man.
Even
Something.
the emblems look very pretty.
The
Yes.
emblems are
Like
good.
normally,
like-
I'm not too crazy about emblems, but those look really
Mhm.
pretty.
I like the kind of like water marbled look.
Yeah.
On the ones they showed. It's super cool. Super beautiful.
Yeah, man.
So thanks for that.
Yeah, it looks good. And we actually know kind of what some of the challenges are going to be right now. Like I said, you can go to Bungie.net and see what some of them are. Generally speaking, we've got Bringer of Light, where you need to finish Destiny 2's base campaign. Awaken the Warmind for the Warmind campaign. Follower of Osiris. No, you can't skip that one. For the Curse of Osiris campaign, check out My Arsenal, where you need to obtain 25 exotic weapons or armor. The Very Best, where you need to reach Vanguard rank 50 sometime within Season 3. Fleeting Memories, where you need to collect all 45 of the latent memories on Mars. And Show Me the Way, where you need to obtain Sagira's Ghost Shell. So you got to do all of the forge weapons, again, within Curse of Osiris. For the
Yeah,
activity-based stuff, a couple of these are going to be tied to whatever Solstice of Heroes is going to be later on. But we've got I Will Smash You, where you need to defeat 100 opponents in the Crucible. I love it. Hive Extermination, where you need to complete Tier 7 in Escalation Protocol. The Emperor, where you need to defeat Callus in the Leviathan Raid. Treasure Hunter, where you need to collect all of the Golden Region chests across all of the planets. Adventurous, where you need to complete 20 adventures. Good luck with that. You've probably got like 4 done. I know
Not if you're
because
Dan.
I had like 4 done.
I
Dan's
got them all
crazy.
done. I got them all done.
This guy,
Dan.
weirdo,
I'm
actually
sorry.
plays adventures. What's wrong with you?
Well, I was grinding out for those prophecy weapons, and I think that's how I did it.
Did you
That's
get the
one way to do
Huckleberry
it.
catalyst in there?
No.
No.
What?
I mean, this was all pre that. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I have not touched adventures on my PS4 for a long time. And even then it was with like my hunter character. I think I completed all of the adventures. And every other character I'm just like, that is now a waypoint. Since you can't select your own waypoint, I now
Yep.
just put it there and I'm like, okay, I will go to that spot. Let's go there. And yeah, that's
I don't think I've touched adventures since launch, with the exception of the few that they force you to do in Warmind.
Yeah.
And,
Twice. You have to do
Yeah.
them twice. The
Yeah.
normal version and the heroic to
And the
get like the
heroic.
forged stuff. Ugh. It was frustrating.
I don't mind it. I don't know.
That's what I'm gonna be working on this upcoming week, getting those
Same.
adventures and regionals, because that's all I need for now.
Same here. But moving on, we've got Valor Fabled, where you need to reach Legend in Valor ranking in Season 3. This is a great weekend to do that. If you haven't been playing
Yes.
PvP, if you're somebody who doesn't like it, right now you can earn triple Valor points in Quick Play and in Mayhem. Mayhem's going to be active till Tuesday. It is literally the best time right now. If you're somebody who doesn't like Crucible, Mayhem is the most casual mode you can get into. It's just supers all the time, abilities all the time, heavy all the time. It's a lot of fun. I would absolutely recommend it. If you start getting on win streaks, you get ridiculous amounts of points towards your ranking. I don't know if any of you guys here have been playing this week, but I had already gotten to Legend rank once and reset in PvP before. I'm already back at Mythic just from Friday.
Wow.
I'm already back at Mythic. It's ludicrously fast. So if you're somebody who doesn't like PvP but you want to get this done, do it this weekend. That was a little bit of a surprise on Bungie Day that we got from the fine men and women over there at Bungie. You guys been playing some Mayhem?
Yes.
I was actually playing a little bit before we got on the podcast because I really want to get that ghost, the
Yeah.
flower ghost from
Yeah.
Phoenix. It looks very pretty.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that after we get out of here.
Yeah.
What were you
Dad,
saying, Dan?
I've been doing I was doing that a little bit before and made it to legendary just for the moments of triumph stuff. But Dado posted like I think it took him he said with the 3 times XP buff this weekend, running mayhem, it took him 4.5 hours to reach legendary.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Yeah. Yeah. It's
we got
crazy.
time, guys.
Yeah.
I wonder does anybody know if the ghosts that give you extra XP in the Crucible do anything with that?
Do they
I
stack on
haven't
top of
tested
it? I
that.
don't know.
That might be
Right,
something
somebody
worth
get that on
testing.
the line. Damn it.
Yeah.
Dial him up.
And this XP buff ends at reset. Yes.
I believe so. I think in the I think they say it lasts through reset. It's kind of worded weirdly, but I'm pretty sure it's going to end on Tuesday. Operate as if it's going to end on Tuesday. Get in there right now and play yourself
Yeah.
some mayhem. It's there's no better time to get a legend ranking in Valor right now, especially if you're somebody who doesn't like people. Good stuff in there. All right, after that, we've got Prove Your Worth, where you need to complete Eater of Worlds and the Spire of Stars raid layers. That is it for the activities that are available right now. Finally, we have a new tab called Event. Basically, there's 5 different milestones that are going to be tied to this in Moments of Triumph. All of them are tied to the Solstice of Heroes. They all say that they'll be revealed later this summer. So it looks like we might have a lot of stuff to do there. Is it too much to hope for maybe some Sparrow Racing League?
Probably.
Please. Last night during the charity stream that we did with St. 14 Project, me and Dan, we all did a round of Sparrow Racing, and
Yeah.
I still suck at it, but I still love it. So felt good.
I got second. Broke Reaper, I'm coming for you.
Oh yeah.
Chasing him down. Yeah, I mean, we still don't know exactly what Solstice of Heroes is going to be. And so we haven't even really gotten any kind of hints at what it's going to be, so we can't even really speculate at this point at what it might be. But I'm really hoping, I'm really hoping that there's going to be some hint of Sparrow Racing League popping up soon, because it was such a successful event. The 2 times we had it in Destiny 1, there was like no real downside to it, and it's really weird that like there's been no mention of Sparrow Racing League since the last time we saw it in D1.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of the fact that the focus has been trying on to get what was not right with the game into the proper gear that may have shifted some of the focus away from bringing SRL. I'm hoping it'll be something that we'll see, because that was a lot of fun.
And it was a great alternative for people who didn't like PvP.
And it was a great alternative for people who didn't want to play Crucible to do their last word or chaperone.
Or chaperone.
Yeah. I loved it. I loved it so much. Like, I took part, like, one of the bigger things that I did originally, like, starting out, like, doing stuff in the Destiny community, was I took part in that Crucible radio tournament.
Oh, the
that
Kells
they did.
Angels thing?
Yeah. The Kells Angels tournament. And, like, that was so fun. And, like, so, like, it felt like community. That's another thing that kind of moved me forward in my Destiny experience. And I love SRL, man.
Yeah, me too.
My man, I deleted my hunter last night in D1, and that sucks because it had all the racing armor and we didn't stop at the tower. Had I had that on my Titan, which is now my only character from D1 that I have, I would have totally creamed Baroque Reaper. Baroque Reaper, you hear this? Baroque?
Of Dad Tales podcast?
Of Dad Tales podcast? It's on, dude. You and me, one-on-one.
Need to get vengeance for your hunter.
Officially called out.
I need the gauntlet thrown.
Oh, man, dude, the Sparrow Racing League gear was so good looking, though.
Yeah!
Why would you do
was
that?
So great.
Oh,
Man.
Yeah, I couldn't
fucked
do
up,
it.
Dan.
My warlock didn't have to wear big ass robes.
Yeah, you could be nice and
some
slim.
wine. I had some wine, okay, and I was like, "Hey, $300, let's go!" And
Blame the
everybody
booze.
Showed up. Everybody.
Yeah,
showed up.
I wasn't
It was
even
awesome.
drunk.
Oh, I was drunk.
Everybody was drunk except me.
I couldn't do it. Couldn't be deleting my character. Nope.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'd be able to delete my warlock.
Way too much time spent on that. But I applaud you for holding up your end of the bargain. And I mourn for your awesome gear that is now gone.
Lost to the void.
Forever taken.
Forever.
All right, we already talked a bit about some of the rewards you're going to be able to get from this. Of course, you know, we've got the exclusive stuff like Sparrows and whatnot. I do believe they gave us a list of the point thresholds for all of these rewards. Did they not?
Yeah.
Did.
We
Yeah.
did.
They did.
Bring that.
On the event page, there's one 10-pointer, a 25-pointer, a 30, and 250.
Well, that's what you get per achievement. The threshold
Mhm.
for the actual rewards are 125 points for the ghost shell,
Mhm.
250 points for the code for the T-shirt, 300 for the legendary Sparrow, and 400 points gets you the emblem upgrade.
Which we talked about. The emblem looks good.
Yeah.
The Sparrow looks good. The Ghost looks good. And the armor that's tied to it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like a remade version of the starting gear from D2. isn't it?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we get
It's
to
their
see
it's their prime version.
the prime version of the starting gear, which is cool because something that a lot of players asked for was like, can we get like special versions of like the gear and weapons that we had at the start of the game? You know, just kind of symbolize where we are, and we're getting it. I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely 100% cool with it. In the article itself, we only got to see the helmet, but if you go to the companion app, you can actually see the full armor set, and it's shiny.
Nice.
It's very shiny.
Is it weird that I want to wear the busted up version of that like gear?
Oh man, if that was like an ornament for this, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like
That would be sick.
like the hunter with like the torn cloak and the
Oh man,
battle
and like the
scars on
busted
the
up,
armor.
sad-looking ghost.
Oh, see, no, that broke my heart.
Yeah, I don't like sad ghosts.
That I
sad
like
ghost.
I didn't care for what's his, it's Nolan North for the ghost voice,
Yeah.
but that made me care for him.
Aw.
I
Sounding
love
so weak.
Nolan North as the ghost. By the way, there is
Huh?
a clip floating around. Sorry, I just have to interject this. There's a
Go for
clip
it.
floating around. Somebody did a little bit of data mining. I don't know if you guys saw it. How do you say her name? Shackles Hot Gun? Shackles Shotgun?
Shotgun.
Oh, Shadow
Yeah.
Shotgun,
I think it's Hot Gun. Shackles Hot Gun.
Yeah, she found on Tumblr, somebody data mined, and they found an audio clip of Nolan North as Ghost saying, "Twinkle, twinkle, assholes," and
Whoa.
it is everything I've ever needed.
All right. I'd love to know the context of that line
yeah,
within
me
the
too.
game. But
We will
okay.
never get that context, and I, I really wish we would.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
That'd be
I love
great.
Nolan North.
I like to imagine he's talking to some thrall.
Yeah.
I'm posting it in chat now.
Ooh. Check that out after the stream. That's interesting. I hadn't heard anything about that, so
It's
Data
pretty
mining.
funny. Just a fun
Wonderful.
little thing.
all right. I think
Yes.
that covers pretty much all the news within the TWAB and the whole Bungie Day thing. You
Correct.
guys want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff we've learned from Game
Yes.
Informer?
There's a whole lot to talk
There's a
about.
whole heck of a lot, so I'm gonna let you start.
Tell us about that,
All right.
that auto rifle. No.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So, Game Informer got an in-depth look at one of the new exotic auto rifles coming with Forsaken called the Cerberus +1. And if you guys haven't seen this auto rifle, it is a Frankenstein of a beast. It's got not one, not two, not three, but 4 barrels. So if you've ever played Contra back in the day, this is going to feel really similar.
Yeah.
Like just straight out of that game, because it shoots in 4 different directions. Apparently, according to what they were talking about, this is a beast of an auto rifle, and they actually found themselves using it more often than not. And I'm very excited because it seems like, at the proper range, this thing is going to output some serious damage.
So many bullets.
So many bullets.
Many
Right,
bullets.
because they confirmed that it shoots in 4 different kind of directions with the 4
Correct.
different barrels. So if you can land all 4 of those bullet streams on target, you could potentially deal some big damage. And we got like a little clip in the Game Informer trailer that showed them like shooting an ogre and getting a bunch of different hit markers,
Oh my
which
god.
makes me happy. I like
Yeah,
Contra.
like I can imagine this thing with either a Will of Radiance and factions.
Yeah.
Oh my lord,
Ugh.
this is gonna be silly, dude.
Yeah.
You know who on this team is a warlock and who isn't, just based on how everybody just reacted to that statement. Oh, I'm sorry, Dan. Anyway.
It's okay.
Make a warlock. Do it.
On PC.
Guys, I'm not making this joke again
Gotta do it.
because it's very real.
No, what you really have to do is you have to get Jenny to like Destiny somehow.
That's right. Get her
Okay.
into it. Play with her.
So here's the thing. We tried to do that once. It did not go great. She was okay. There was a moment where she just was staring at the ground and she's like, "What's hurting me? What's hurting me?"
Okay, listen, here's the thing. If I can do it, anybody can do it because I'm
I
an
know.
idiot. Okay. And I was basically doing that when I first started playing D1.
I just don't think that she has any interest whatsoever to learn any further. So
Perseverance, my friend. Perseverance.
I'll try. I'll try to knock down that wall, but guys, I'm telling you,
So
that's a big wall.
that's understandable. We actually get a little bit of information on one of the. I want to say this is probably the intrinsic perk of the auto rifle. It's called the spread shot package.
Hot package.
Oh yeah. So when
Hmm.
you're aiming down the sight, it's going to make the gun a little bit more viable for low and distant enemies. So when you hip fire, then you're going to get more of that like wide spread. So it seems like, you know, when you're ADSing, it seems like the bullet stream focuses a little bit more than while you're not. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. And for the rest of the perks, it looks like we got rifled barrel. So that's a returning exotic, which increases its range but slows down reload time. Fluted barrel and full bore, which further increases range and makes it a little bit less stable. But yeah, this is as far as we've seen. We don't have like a whole lot of gameplay behind the auto rifle. We have some stills, we have some gifs, but not a dedicated video that we can drop in chat just yet.
No.
Yeah, it's literally I think the only gameplay we've actually seen of it is just like 2 seconds of them shooting an ogre. That's pretty much just
Yeah.
it. It's just that. And we can't
Maybe
even
they'll let us
really-
use it.
Ooh.
Like Gamut.
You mean at Guardian Con?
At Guardian Con. Yeah.
If it's the same build of the game that was at E3, I think it'll at least have the exotic bow. The E3 build had the Trinity Ghoul, I do believe it was.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be the same build there. So maybe it might be in there. Who knows?
I finally get to be a Hanzo main in D2.
Oh my
You do.
lord.
You do.
When worlds collide.
Oh my god.
I'm waiting for the Overwatch Eververse skins and armor to pop up.
Hey,
I
if
just
you
want to be a
take,
wrecking ball main.
if you take the robes from the Crucible and you slap that on a warlock, then you're like halfway there.
There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so what was some of the other big stuff we learned from Game Informer this week? I know they had that big article on the 8 barons, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Didn't they give us like a little snapshot bio of all of them?
Of all 8 of them. Yeah, I didn't get
Yeah.
a chance to go through the entire thing. I only saw that it dropped.
There are some freaky looking dudes in here, man.
Really?
I love them.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
all of them.
Yeah, they're pretty spook.
All I know is one of them is basically Toland, and like he tripped on a space banana peel and fell into the hellmouth, and
Yeah.
couldn't climb his way out. So he had to do what Toland did, and roll around in the hive smell until he smelled just as bad as they did, and then he climbed out. Why he chose to roll around in that first, I don't know.
That is a smart.
Don't
smart
the
call.
Fallen like smell bad already? Isn't that canon?
They do, and now
You
they
know, they're
roll around
giant
in
Say that
fighters.
everyone.
so I'm
Yeah.
assuming so.
And
Yeah.
and hive are like smelly space shrimp, and so now they smell like dirty space spider shrimp that's been sitting in like the sun for 3 weeks. That's a
Oh.
horrifying smell, and that's
I'm
what.
glad there's not smell-o-vision.
Oh,
Oh man.
Barons.
All right, so just as a quickie, because I mean, this could take us like a while.
Yeah, let's blitz through it.
Just tell us
Yeah.
tell us their names or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the leader of the bunch, which is the fanatic, and this is the guy that seems that he has the ability to kind of like reanimate these dead fallen, or twist them in some way, shape, or form, because we have seen in screenshots that there are these fallen just like covered in these giant blisters that are basically cursed thrall, just bum rush you and explode. Um, Following him, the fanatic, we have the machinist, we have the mind bender, that's going to be my pal, the trickster, the hangman, and the mad bomber.
God,
the
I
Mad
love
Bomber-
like the Mad Max vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like
Yeah.
this DLC was made for me.
It's
I
Yeah,
guess.
we
definitely a
have-
western.
That you don't understand. Oh.
You know what? There's one that's called the Rider, and that's gonna be a really fun. That's gonna be your Mad Max like moment right there, because
It's a
there's
vehicle fight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pike like battle, and there's a GIF in here that I'm gonna go ahead and post in chat. Sorry for our audio listeners. Come to the show, so you guys can see all this cool stuff, and it looks insane. Like I love the aesthetic and everything that they're doing with this DLC. Like they're nailing it.
Yeah, I there's so many things that I like about the setup of the story here. I love that it's basically Mega Man styled. They're going to have the different bounties for all of these barons just in the game, and you can approach them in whatever order you want, but you have to take them all out before you can go to Dr. Wily's castle and beat up Uldren. I love that. I love that sort of setup there, and I love the kind of Wild West sort of motif that's going around all these different characters that are themed differently. They all fight differently. It's so good. It's so
my
good.
jam.
Can I like just theory craft for like a split second?
Absolutely.
Bring it.
All right.
Do it.
And all right, so we know that in his eyes, Uldren is doing this for what he believes to be like a greater good for him.
We all know it's
Right?
about his sister. Like let's
Yeah,
just
it's
skip
about-
past the pretense here.
it's
We all
about his
know it's
sister.
about the queen, Bungie. We know. We get
Right.
it.
Now, what we've seen from the raid, and what we know about the raid so far, is that ultimately it's going to tie in with like the campaign and the overall story for Forsaken.
Right.
What we have seen is that the Dreaming City is being infested with Taken. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Who currently seems to be in control of the Taken?
I don't know, but I hear she has a very wonderful mixtape.
Yes. So Savathun seems to be currently in control of the Taken. What is Savathun known for?
I don't know, Nem. What is Savathun known for?
So each of the three sisters had like their kind of like their own theme behind them. So you had Jiro, or Zivu
Like
Arath.
a brand.
She was the warrior of the bunch. You had Orash, otherwise known as Oryx, the Taken King. She was a navigator. So that's what she went into different planets and took like their races and stuff like that. And you had Sathona, which is also Savathun. She was the trickster of the sisters.
Okay.
What if Savathun is playing with Uldren's head to get him to let her out of the Dreaming City?
Ooh.
Because we see that city is completely infested with Taken.
Completely. Yeah.
Mhm.
See, that's all the public events there. They're all taken. We've seen that in the original Vidoc. You see taken
Yeah.
blights all over the place in the Dream City.
Mhm.
Because ultimately the way they've described the raid is that each week is going to progress and evolve and change.
Yeah.
And ultimately at the last cycle of the Dreaming City, you're going to see like it was like one of the most hidden secrets that the developers were describing this, that the only like the really hardcore Pinnacle players are going to be like discover this. And
Mhm.
that is my theory.
I think we're gonna be seeing
My crazy
Savathun.
theory. I think we might be by the end of the
Solid
Right.
theory,
And
man.
Showing up with the
That's rad.
flowers and chocolates.
Yeah.
Not gonna take her back. I don't care how
No,
hot your
don't
mixtape is.
Jesus Christ.
That's a solid theory, man. I mean, it fits in with some of the things that we've seen within the Dreaming City. I think, like I said before, it's pretty obvious. Whatever Uldren's doing, he kind of a greater good sort of thing in his mind. It's probably about his sister and what's going on with that. And I think that fits. That fits a lot of the holes in the in our knowledge of the story here. So really interested in seeing where exactly this is all going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we're like 2 months away still.
Yeah,
2
we're like
months,
50
yeah.
something days.
58 days. 58 days.
Needs to be now.
Is our cryo sleep beds a thing yet?
Not yet. They're working on it. They can put you to sleep. They just can't wake you up yet.
Yeah.
Kind of a.
Damn it.
I got a freezer.
we can it fit a nim? Can it fit one nim?
Can it fit a 5'11" person?
I mean, not in one piece, but yes.
Okay,
we'll
this
talk
is
about
that
that.
some kind of territory
It's
that
not a no.
I do not approve of.
We'll talk about the logistics after.
Oh
Figure
my
it out.
God.
But in addition to all this other stuff we've learned this week, we learned a bit about all 9 of the new supers coming to the 3 main classes. And some of these things are insane. I brought up a nice little list here. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible because if we take a bunch of time talking about all of this, it's going to be a 3-hour show.
It's gonna be the song that never ends. And
Is
we
the
don't want
song
to
that
edit that.
never ends. Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah.
I'm that old. So first up, Sentinels. You're gonna have a new tree called the Code of the Commander. Your super in this is gonna be you're still gonna be summoning your shield, but you're gonna have a new effect with it. Basically, you're gonna become Reinhardt from Overwatch to continue the Overwatch motif. You'll be able to, when you hold block, throw up a frontal shield that will block, everybody standing behind you. But people can shoot through your shield. If they're standing behind you, they can shoot through and hit enemies that are in front of you. So you can use it as a great way to kind of rally your team, push forward on a point. I could see that having a lot of utility, especially with some of the exotic and ability combinations we've got in raids. You get yourself a Well of Radiance and Luna factions and a Code of the Commander Titan. You're basically invincible with massive damage in raid fights for like however long Sentinel lasts. What do you guys think?
Yeah, man. I mean, especially if you combine the fact that when a Titan takes incoming damage and blocks it, you create orbs of light for your teammates. Like, this is going to be such a neat power.
That's a good combination.
Yeah.
I think it's got some odd perk changes too. All void ability damage attaches a void detonator to the target. Dealing damage to a target with a detonator attached to it causes it to explode, creating a chain reaction that attaches additional detonators to surrounding enemies. So what if we took the Graviton Lance ability and mixed it with Warlock Bloom? That's basically what this ability is. Make everything explode. I think that sounds pretty cool.
I like it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And for the grenades, Sentinel players and their allies will regain some of their grenade energy when detonators explode around them. So if you're popping this in a group full of trash mobs like Thrall or Dregs or whatnot, you're going to be getting grenade energy back really quickly, which is great. It leans into the philosophy of the game of the class and incentivizes you to use your abilities more often. The more often you use them, the faster you'll get them back. And you'll notice that's a trend with a lot of the supers and new subtrees that we're going to be getting when Forsaken comes out. All right, for Sunbreakers, we've got the Code of the Devastator. This is the gigantic siege hammer that you can spin around like Mary Poppins with and just smack everything into outer space. I love it. The hammer looks so silly, and I can't wait to get my hands on it.
Big fiery sledgehammer of death. Got it. Good.
It's beautiful. And
It's so
the new melee ability for this attunement tree is insane. Have you guys read up on it?
Yeah,
No, I
it
actually haven't.
sounds so
Okay.
cool.
So basically now the Sunbreaker's melee ability is going to be ranged like a hunter's throwing knife. Instead of a blade though, you're going to basically be throwing a hammer like you normally would in Super, but when that hammer strikes somewhere, it's going to sit there and you can go and pick it back up, instantly get your melee energy back and throw it again.
What?
Yeah, that's what's happening with the
That's
Sunbreaker here.
crazy.
So you
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, basically, yes, you're going to be able to utilize a normal Super Sunbreaker hammer. It's probably going to be a little less powerful. You probably won't be one-shotting people in PvP with it. That might be a little busted, but you can toss it. When it lands somewhere, you can go pick it up. You'll instantly get your melee energy back if you pick it up, and it'll regenerate some of your health. Really cool ability. Like, probably my
You want a
favorite
wombo
ability.
combo somebody with a hammer?
There you go.
Congratulations.
And it mixes with like the new perk for the Sunbreaker, where each solar kill increases player damage up to a triple damage buff. So if you're getting solar ability kills
Oh my god.
with this
Can we
hammer,
rename this ban hammer?
that's a lot of damage. It's literally the ban hammer. It's literally the ban hammer. Pretty cool.
That's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage. Next up for
Lot of
Striker, we've got the Code of the Missile. This is the crazy Thunder Crash Superman dive with the Fist
the
of
death from
Panic.
above.
Man, it's
Yeah.
great. I love it. I love that it's just aimable death from above. Beautiful. But with this new subclass, or subclass tree, I guess, the Striker's melee ability is going to let people jump into the air, aim down, and fly like a missile towards their enemies. So basically, anytime you've got a melee charge from the end of the air, you can actually do a death from above and like land and do a little bit of AoE damage. And that's pretty neat. I mean, depending on how strong it is, it might be a bit worrisome. I could see a wombo combo with that in PvP with how aerial the game is right now. And especially with the lion rampants. This could be an interesting combination with those things. Just strafing around corners, high up in the sky, drop a slam on somebody, and then immediately go in for the roundup melee.
Ooh.
Not bad. Not too bad at all. Of course, we already talked a bit about the Thunder Crash there. But the perk for this is a little weird. Any ammo that players pick up while sliding will instantly reload their weapon. Successfully reloading through a slide will increase the player's damage for a short period of time. This is something Nim and I talked about over the course of the week. That's basically Shade Step, except potentially better since you don't have a cooldown on slide. So, is there going to be a cool? I'd imagine there has to be a cooldown to be able to activate the ammo regeneration, because if not, this kind of just like nullifies all Shade Step. You can just do it with a Titan. Just slide with the Titan constantly.
Doesn't it also increase weapon damage, if I'm not mistaken?
It does. Successfully reloading through a slide will increase the player's damage for a short period of time. So.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
That's a little on the
Y'all
large
ready
side.
for this?
But I imagine.
Oh my god.
Yeah, something like that. There has to be like a maybe 4 or 5 second cooldown on that. Just constantly being able to slide and get your ammo back. I mean, if there's not, I'm going to enjoy it until it gets nerfed. But kind of like a better Shade Step, you know?
Yeah, man.
So does it increase the damage for the specific weapon type for the ammo that you pick up, or?
It just says that it increases player damage, so it might not even be just specifically weapon damage. It might be like melee damage, all output damage.
Oh yikes!
We'll see.
Yeah.
Little on the
On a
strong
serious
side.
note, I think this is pretty good though, because Titans are kind of like in a weird spot right now.
Yeah, they're a little bit not good.
Need some help with the neutral game for some of the Titan
Neutral
classes.
game, their hit detection is like super wonky with their
Especially
Sentinel.
on their shields. Yeah.
Arbiter Priest, the electric slide. My man. That's the official name. Right here. It's been determined right here. That is the new official name of this. It is the electric slide. Oogie, 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 baby. Beautiful. All right, let's move on to Warlocks. For Void Walkers, we've got the Attunement of Fission. This is going to give you the Nova Warp, where you get to teleport all around and then basically detonate yourself. You become the Nova Bomb.
So excited for that.
Oh, man, it looks
This is all I ever wanted.
It looks like
I'm going to be Nightcrawler. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be Nightcrawler.
Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Vamping everywhere?
No.
No.
As purple can be. But there's going to be seeing some changes in for its grenades and melees as well. For the melee, the Void Walker's melee attack generates a void explosion ahead of the Warlock. I don't know if we got any clips of this, but that sounds kind of interesting. I guess you're going to be blowing stuff up in front of you with your melee.
You know what that reminds me of, sort of?
Mm-hmm.
Maya's melee override from Borderlands 2.
Oh,
You're right. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
slag ball. That's what that reminds, or
Mhm.
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, you might kind of be right, and which would, I guess, just kind of serve as a way to get an extended melee range on a warlock. Bring us back to D1 level, baby. About time.
Ooh.
For the grenade, holding the grenade button will eat the grenade and cause an explosion in the vicinity of a warlock of the warlock, which is interesting. Charge your grenade, and then if
Mhm.
you hold it long enough, you explode. Explode.
I like it.
I'm okay with that. We also got to see a little bit of how some of the overcharge is going to work in the Game Informer trailer, where they used it with scatter grenades and like turned them into missiles, which is weird. I like that.
Mhm.
So
Ooh, I didn't see this.
yeah, it's literally the first clip in that like 55-second Game Informer trailer where they charge it up, they shoot it forward, and rather than it just bouncing forward, they fly forward like missiles and then detonate into scatter grenades. Pretty neat looking.
Oh, I need it now.
And for the perk, you do. It's great. For the perk changes, Void ability kills will restore ability, energy, and health. Again, kind of incentivizing you to use your abilities, and if you use them correctly, you're going to be getting your abilities back. Again, a philosophy change for gameplay here that I love. I love that. I love that you're being incentivized to use your abilities because I still am of the opinion that abilities take far too long to recharge in Destiny 2. Even when you've
Well, it's a direct result of people, in D1 saying that, oh, this is ability spam simulator, but now it's like,
yeah.
yeah.
no, that was fun. We liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I like being able to use my grenade, more than once every 4 minutes. I like that. I like that. All right, next up for Stormcallers, we've got the Attunement of Control. The super here is Chaos Reach.
Uh-huh.
Kamehameha. It's beautiful. It shoots out a big beam of damaging energy. Something that's rather interesting about this large beam is that you can actually stop it before the end of its animation, and it'll maintain some of your super bar. So, like, when you're using a super, your super bar drains. You can stop this and like maintain wherever your super bar was at the time with the beam, so you can get your super back a little bit faster. I think that's really interesting. Although I really want to see the damage numbers on this thing because it's looked like from what the gameplay we've seen, it looks like it lasts a decent amount of time. I want to see if the damage like ramps up the longer it goes, and I like it. I like being able to shoot beams. For the Stormcaller melee, what's that?
So it basically just turns you into a giant cold heart.
Basically,
Yes.
yeah.
That's awesome.
You become the Cold Heart.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. For the melee, the Stormcaller's melee ability now fires out an orb of electricity that soon explodes, sending a lightning bolt into the ground. So it seems kind of like what the Void Walkers are getting there, except lightning instead of void. And for their perk changes, killing things with arc damage occasionally leaves behind ionic traces. Each time players collect an ionic trace, they'll regain some ability energy. So if you're murking things with arc, getting your arc abilities back. Not bad at all. And finally, for Dawnblade, this is something we've actually talked about a little bit on the show before, but we get the Attunement of Grace, where you get to become your team's healer. For all you guys who dreamed of being Mercy in Destiny 2.
I need healing.
Don't worry, Nim. Heroes never die. But the super for this is the Well of Radiance, in which the Guardians stick their, you take that flaming sword, you stick it into the ground, you create a mega rift that heals allies, gives them an overshield, and damages enemies who are on the outside perimeter of it. Super cool, and you get some incredible abilities with this class. Like I said, we don't have to spend too much time here.
Grenade.
Yeah, you get a healing grenade. You charge it up, you toss it on the ground, it drops an orb of light, and any of your teammates who are standing near it will get healed, they'll get an overshield, and you'll get a buff from it called the Hearthkeeper buff, which speeds up your ability cooldowns. It's... That buff actually, I think, comes from all of the abilities for this new Dawnblade. This new Dawnblade attunement. I think if you melee an enemy and you're standing near somebody, you get that buff. If you drop a rift, you get that buff. If you use the overcharge grenade, you get that buff. So you'll be getting back your abilities like that with the Attunement of Grace. I like it. I like having a healing class in D2. It's great.
So before we move on, there was something that I forgot to mention. We were talking about the Dreaming City earlier on. So you know how right now escalation protocol is it's a hassle to try and get 9 people in there.
Mm-hmm.
So what we know of the Dreaming City is that it's going to be its own public zone, and you're going to be able to load with your fire team there. Now, there's going to be another version of like escalation protocol.
Yeah.
I want to say I think it's within the Dreaming City.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can't remember the name of it because I read the article a few days ago, but it acts where you start the encounter and you get this mist that surrounds the area where you can't touch it, so you're confined to a small spot until you clear that wave or you clear that boss, and then more area starts opening up for you to be able to roam around and run in. Now, you can take 6 people in there with you from the get-go, and that's not
Mhm.
counting the blueberries in the area.
Ooh.
Wait.
He's-
Ooh. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so it seems like they may have found a workaround for future accesses to things like bringing in a full fire team
Yeah.
to a end game type of things like stuff like that, like escalation protocol or that event that's coming in
Posted
Forsaken.
in
And
the raid area. Yeah, I'm
I'm
okay with that.
super excited about
Yeah.
that.
That's
That'll
awesome.
be really nice.
I hadn't even thought about that. Good catch. Good catch.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to play that.
All right,
There's
so
just gonna be LFGs now. It's like we need 18 people.
18
18 people for this.
Oh God.
God.
must have Trinity Ghoul. 10,000 kills. Gotta have that emblem on.
I like Cerebus +1, but like I feel
Kicked. Immediately kicked.
like for
be great.
maximum damage, I like output. You need to use this.
Maximum DPS.
All right, we got 3 more of these class things. Right, we got hunters. We can't forget about the weakest of the classes. Moving on. Night Stalkers. You guys are getting the Way of the Wraith. The Night Stalker super for this is Spectral Blades, which turns the hunter invisible and lets them sneak around to stab their enemies in the back. So if you like being a sneaky hunter, this is right up your alley. Right up your ally's back because you're stabbing people in the back. See?
Oh, oh.
Gotcha.
Nailed it.
You thought I messed up. You thought I messed up.
Tell us
I
how
do
you
this for a
really
living.
feel.
I do this for a living. For their melee, the Night Stalker's smoke bomb slows enemies and does a ton of damage. So, basically the way smoke bombs work right now, except probably going to be a ramp up on the damage that they do, which sucks. I hate smoke bombs so very much. They show up on my radar. I get super spooked by them because I think they're a person. Then I walk into them and I can't jump and I smell funny for the rest of the day. It's not great. And for special
Well, it feeds into that. It feeds into that power fantasy, Way of the Wraith, especially if it's yeah.
Okay. For perk changes, precision kills let Night Stalkers turn invisible. They also grant True Sight, an ability that allows players to see enemies through walls. So basically the same ability you have right now when you're tracking somebody. You'll be able to get that when you get precision kills, which is going to be kind of interesting. I think it's going to be super effective for PvE, definitely. You just pop a thrall in the head, walk away, feel marginally safe. For Gunslinger,
Marginally safe.
marginally, because things still shoot at you with like perfect precision when you're invisible, and it's weird. That's weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But for Gunslinger, we've got the Way of 1,000 Cuts. The super for this is going to be Blade Barrage, which allows the player to toss a bunch of explosive knives at their foes. We actually got to see a little bit of gameplay of that in some of the videos that have come out in previous weeks, and it looks kind of cool. You jump up, pull out the knives, toss those things everywhere. They cause people to explode.
Is it? It looks neat, but isn't it a little bit weird that that's tied with Gunslinger and not with
Yes.
like Arcstrider?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. A little bit weird, I guess.
Because like I mean, they gave the Night Stalker an offensive super,
Yeah.
and they gave the Hunter the deflection.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. What we're going to get into next, the Way of
Yeah,
the
go for
Current.
it.
For the Arcstriders, your super is now going to be Whirling Guard, which grants the Arcstrider the new ability to spin your staff and reflect all projectiles back at their source. You can still use Arcstrider the normal way, like where you're just going around and slapping everybody, but you can now shield and shoot things back. And I do believe that after reflecting, you get like a triple damage buff. So
Yeah.
it's worth, it's absolutely worth it
yeah.
to reflect some things. You maybe, I can see that working pretty well in PvP, where you come around a corner, people start shooting at you, you block a couple of shots, and then you just zoop in and lap up everybody, including other supers. Oh
Dude.
man, what if this reflects like hammers?
I was actually about to say, I wonder if this
Oh, wow.
reflects supers.
Nova bombs, hammers.
Oh, could you? Oh,
No, but I
non-blade
want my swords with
swords.
artifacts that can do that.
yeah, because we had that as an artifact in D1, didn't
what
we?
was that?
Yes.
Memory of
Radagast.
Radagast. Yeah.
Bounce everything back. That was so weird to watch when
I,
somebody had that on and it was like Nova Bomb. Oh, never mind.
I have a fantastic clip of D1. I was playing with my Titan, and if I'm not mistaken, this was an Iron Banner match, and it was I want to say the map was Frontier, where it has that like bridge in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken,
Mm.
that's the name of the map. It was on Earth, but anyway,
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
running around a corner, and I see this Titan in front of me, and he pops his hammer, and I have my sword just at the ready, and he throws the one hammer, and it just bounces to him, and I don't know why he thought this was a great idea, but he bum rushes me, and then I was using the young wolf's howl. So he's like right above me, and as soon as I see him drop, I just smack him down with the ground. It was so great. Oh, I miss that stuff.
You confused him. He was like,
Yeah, it was great.
this is Destiny 1. My hammer didn't work. What's wrong? What's wrong with my hammer?
God, so good.
Is that what Titans sound like, Chief?
It is when they're, Sly Stallone.
Which
Whatever.
that just feels so right.
Your hammer
That's
doesn't
over the
work.
top.
That's what you sound like. Yeah, I remember you used to tweet a lot of videos of you like reflecting strange
Yes.
things.
I was pretty
back at
notorious
people.
for that.
Yeah, I mean, good stuff. I like it.
It's great.
I like that Arc Strider is going to be able to do it. Pretty neat ability. That at all.
Excellent.
Well, all right, that's all I got. That's everything I
That's all
got.
you
All the
got?
supers sound absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I do. Yeah,
I
and
want them all.
like I said, I love that so many of the abilities that are going to be tied to these new attunement trees are focused around you using your melees, using your grenades, using your class ability, and getting that energy back, like from active use of your ability. So much of this stuff is like for the attunement of grace, for example. That entire class is about healing yourself, healing your teammates, giving them buffs, which gives you a buff and gives you back your energy. I love that. I love that sort of cyclical nature
Synergy.
of the but yeah, that's perfect synergy, and that's what a lot of these attunement trees are based around. It kind of makes me wonder, am I ever going to go back to any of the normal trees after playing like healing warlock?
It might be interesting to see how like new supers work in combination with the old ones in
Yeah.
one way or another. I guess we'll find out. Somebody, I'm sure, will do a little bit of science
Sure.
and see how they all work together.
Which ones do you which one specifically do you guys see yourself using the most?
For
of all these.
PvE, probably the Attunement of Grace.
Mhm.
Just because that seems like a lot of fun. But for PvP, I just really want to be a warlock that can use, Nova Bomb again in the Crucible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be seeing how that works out.
Heck yeah.
But also, giant fiery sledgehammer of death. So
Very
good.
spooky. That spin attack travels a
Mhm.
rather large distance and is very
does.
scary to watch.
You're a Beyblade with a hammer taped to you.
Let it rip.
Yep.
Let it rip.
Oh my god.
Oh, what? You thought you could drop a Beyblade reference in here and I wouldn't pick it up?
We get it.
I'll
You're
start-
a
I'll-
weeb through and through.
I'll start singing some of the music from the show too. I'll
Please
drop
don't.
the
Okay.
bars,
Get into
baby.
that.
Moving
I
on,
will
I
drop the
think
bars.
we should start taking questions. I was going to talk about some stuff for PD, but I think I would rather discuss it with you guys first before.
I was gonna
mention
say
anything.
before we get into that, one of the things that we forgot to mention is that these powers are not available all from the get-go. They will be available as time goes by. I believe they
Mhm.
said.
Mhm.
And I hate to use the word time gated, but I think that might be the case.
Is it gonna be like how we got our auxiliary supers
That's what I
in
think.
the base game?
That's what I think it's
Yeah.
going to be like that, where
Like a hidden requirement.
yeah, like where
Mhm.
you might be out in the world and like you open a treasure chest and you get an amulet and that
And it
unlocks
drops.
the quest to
Yeah.
get your new subclass tree. That's what I took it as meaning when they said that.
Mm-hmm.
That would make the most sense, wouldn't it?
I'd be
Yeah.
okay with
Yeah,
that.
there's already the precedent for it as well in the game.
Yep.
Glad
There's a
we-
car alarm going off behind me right now. Do we have any questions?
Ooh, Hungo's got a great one.
Oh,
Bungie has invited you to their studio, and they say that you can delete anything you want from D2. What would you delete and why?
In Before the Colony.
Let me bring up Dim, and I'll get right back to you.
Anything. Anything.
Anything.
Anything.
Warlock.
Excuse me?
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
You're outnumbered, buddy.
Said
Don't
anything.
push
Never
it.
saw
Said
the
anything.
infinity
This is
ever
my
again.
opinion.
I
The Fighting Lion, don't at me.
I'm telling Cammy. I'm gonna tell on you.
Oh my god. I would probably I can't even say that I really want to like the Vigilance Wing or Graviton. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
Maybe I would delete a map that I really hate being on. No, you know what? I would delete Retribution probably. I hate that map. I hate
Really?
that map so
Retribution.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just never plays well for me. I was gonna say I'd delete Supremacy, but they're kind of already doing that. So.
Pour one out.
And it was a victorious day for all.
Yep.
Sad about it.
Good fucking riddance.
What about you guys? What'd you delete?
I was gonna say Exodus Black, but they've already done that. Or
Yeah.
Exodus Crash.
Yep, that's gone. That's you know what? If that wasn't gone already, that would be my answer. That would be my
There you
answer.
go.
Yeah.
I'll
Somebody
tell you
said
what,
Wormhusk.
the
Dude.
hidden juggler perk.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a big one.
Dan, an
Mhm.
actual hero.
Which
Yeah.
thankfully is something I think they talked about last week in an interview or so. They directly brought up the hidden well, they were asked about it and they addressed it and said, yeah, okay, yeah, that's gone in Forsaken. Yeah, it's going to be a part of the weapon slot changes coming in Forsaken. Good.
Well,
Sick.
I'm glad my visit did a lot for the game. And
You did it. It's all thanks to you,
yeah,
Dan.
I did
Thank
it,
you.
guys. I
Thank
did
you
it,
for all
guys.
you gave. For me, I would say the dual primary system. That is what I would delete. I
Fair
think
enough.
that's the source of, well, it's not exactly the source, but it's tied into so many other things I dislike, like the slower time to kill in PvP and the overall weaker nature of Guardians in I can only delete one
Ooh.
thing, it's gonna be that.
But
I have a better
TBL, we
answer.
needed
This is my
more
final answer.
Play.
Shut up, Nim.
The fucking blackout modifier.
Really?
Really?
You don't like Blackout?
I don't like blackout. I don't like glass either. It's kind of like a tie between either one.
Man, you know that's interesting.
Please.
Blackout is spooky, but I thought that was going to be the modifier that I was most worried about when they announced it for heroics. I actually don't mind Blackout. Like that's
Yeah.
probably the negative modifier that bothers me the least now. It's usually
Really?
like grounded in iron that really grind my
Yeah.
gears.
See, those don't bother me as much.
Really?
Okay, here's the thing, and I think maybe I'm just like having tunnel vision and seeing this through a very specific thing. But if I get blackout and I get the strike in the EDZ with the taken,
Oh,
I
Totally
just don't
get
do
that.
it because
the dick
like
walls.
the, the walls, yeah. I don't know. I just don't like that there's a thing that I feel takes all of the fun out of something. It's oh god, no. Just please
See,
no.
we don't have this
Can't.
problem on PC, don't we, TBL?
No,
Because
we-
that
this
strike
is-
does not exist.
Every time
an
you
issue.
say that, you owe me like $100 from now on.
starting the bidding high there with $100 I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
So shut
Yeah, I don't mind blackout as much. I what I dislike is the fact that a lot of these modifiers don't feel like they do jack shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can agree with that.
Just basically. Oh
Yeah.
man.
I can definitely agree. All right, we got another question.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I think Kyle actually had a good one.
Oh,
A cool
Quasi
one.
Kyle.
Kyle?
Cool guy.
Quasi Kyle. Yeah.
We love
Kyle.
Quasi Kyle. Shout out to Quasi Kyle.
He's a he's a good mod. He's a good mod.
He's
He's
Welsh.
always on stuff on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, where is it? I know I saw it. I know I saw it somewhere here.
Oh, Dan just
I
posted
heard
it.
Oh,
No,
did he?
it's a different one.
That's a different one. All right, do that one meanwhile I look for this.
Arbiter Priest, since Warframe is apparently doing it, do we still want ship versus ship combat?
That might be fun. Like,
Yeah.
I can't see a reason to not want
Mhm.
that, right? Like,
Yeah. And you know what ultimately that is? That
Mhm.
is
No Man's Sky.
No. That is
no.
that is Star Wars Battlefront 2 from the PS2 era. That is what that is. And that is what we never got. And now we're getting it with Warframe, and I screamed like a little girl when I saw it
Mhm.
yesterday, and it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Dude, Warframe making plays.
Yeah, Warframe's doing some shit.
All that new
TM.
content
Like,
Yeah.
just announced for the Nintendo Switch today.
Yeah.
Warframe making the
Yeah.
plays. Yeah.
Again, I wish I wasn't a complete monkey brain. Otherwise, I would totally. Sorry, guys. We're rebranding to Planet Warframe. No.
Some would say we never weren't Planet Warframe. Just like that one odd year where we were Planet Division.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd love any sort of vehicle combat within D2. I loved combined arms in Destiny 1. I'd love to see that come back in D2. I'd love to see some sort of space combat. Give me a reason to have legendary and exotic ships other than just a loading screen.
Seriously.
Yeah,
I'd take that.
like be able to upgrade them with different weapons and stuff.
I want to be able to
Absolutely.
like have like a base inside my ship to be able to like walk around inside my ship, kind of like in
Like Warframe.
like. But like,
Warframe.
I
That's
don't know.
literally Warframe.
I want to do stupid domestic stuff, like full
Play
on
Warframe.
MMO, RPG, like customizable everything. That's
Oh
just
my sweetness! The
Yeah, there
more
it
you
is.
talk about it, the more you're just describing
It's all
Warframe.
Warframe. Yeah, Kyle just reposted it. And yeah, this is it's so funny that this is the question that I was looking from Kyle early on, because this is something you can do in Warframe. What do you think if hunters would be able to stick to walls when they ADS? Like, that'd be so cool. Can you
Like
imagine in the
Spider-Man?
Crucible?
Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
can you imagine the
Spider-Man.
Crucible just like a hunter, just like in a corner, and you can just like see his face because of his cloak?
Or
That'd be
you,
so sick.
or you just see like the red bubble in the middle, and you're like, where the hell is this guy? And it's not a smoke grenade. It's not a warlock floofing down on top of you. It is just a hunter posted up in
Yeah.
one corner of the room.
Spooky spider hunter up in the sky. Just
Warframe is
Spider
such a good game, dude.
it is. It really is. Like it's insane that that's a free to play game.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's been out
Yeah,
for
they're
what?
kind of killing it.
6 years? I
Wasn't
wanna
it
say?
05?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
That was
you know
my
what? It might,
first.
might
yeah,
be
that was
even
my
longer
first
than I'm thinking.
PS4 game that I
15?
played.
15?
been-
Let me.
It's been a long time. Warframe's been out for a long time. They've put a lot of work into it, and it's an absolutely incredible experience now. And it's ridiculous that those devs were able to put all that stuff together as a free-to-play game. Like, you should play it.
Dude,
Go play Warframe.
I was watching the TennoCon VOD last night, and a lot of the stuff that they were showing off was just great. Like, Digital Extremes really have gone
Yeah.
beyond
Above
What?
and beyond, yeah.
what I expected them to ever do with that game. Like, it is unbelievable. It's really cool. I love both games. Chat, sue me.
Digital Extreme started the Warframe closed beta for Microsoft Windows on October 24th, 2012, and with a open beta launch March 25th, 2013. So about 6 years.
It's been a
Yeah.
long time. Good job. Good job, guys. You did a great job with Warframe.
Yeah, it's great.
Moving on, I saw one from basically D. Joel. Does PD and Destiny and Bungie, will they ever reach its potential? Because it seems like other games are trying that Destiny recipe and are doing an okay job. I thought this was important because a lot of games are doing the Destiny recipe now. There's a lot more games in the looter shooter pool than there were when Destiny came out. Destiny came out and it was kind of unopposed within that market. It virtually created a new market for looter shooters within the world that, and I think it's done a pretty good job of maintaining itself there. But they've got some real competition now. You know, we've got Division 2 right around the corner, Borderlands 3 someday, Anthem
Yeah.
sometime next year, and Warframe, you know, just gets better and better by the day.
Yeah.
I do believe that Destiny will reach its ultimate potential. Forsaken looks like a really great step forward. We've heard a lot of great things about it. A lot of the issues we've had with D2 are being addressed within Forsaken. But there's a lot of other options right now. There's a lot of other games you could go and play that will scratch that same itch that Destiny does. And
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. Competition is always good. Always good.
You know, the more I hear about Anthem, you know what it actually kind of reminds me of, other than Destiny?
Hmm.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, kind of.
Because like the way they've described the way that the game works, where you kind of have like a central hub where it's essentially just you, and then your friends join you when you're off into like the missions, and you can free roam around.
Yeah.
That space that sounds a lot like Monster Hunter. You know, and the Division, the Division does have a lot of you know, that looter shooter vibe. Hell, even Call of Duty has taken
Cootie doody.
Yep.
a lot of influences from Destiny. I mean,
Absolutely.
Black Ops 3 introduced the specialists, and a lot of those specialists have the same abilities that the warlocks and titans and hunters
They're
have.
literally
Like,
Destiny
silly.
supers. Yeah.
It's literally the same thing. You got I forgot the name, the dude that does the Fist of Havoc.
The ground pound. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Got
got the
that?
Fist of Havoc.
Golden
You have the
gun.
Annihilate. Yeah, and self-res. You got self-res in the game.
Self-res. Yep.
Like, you just see a lot of this influence just carrying over onto other stuff. It's interesting.
Destiny's been a pretty influential game. If hasn't always been perfect.
Yeah, but see, you know, as much as a looter shooter that Destiny is, I really want to see it embrace more of an MMO style.
Yes. Please.
I agree.
Because like, you know, Destiny is this magnificent confused creature that it doesn't know what it wants to be, and like the fact that, you know, it's this first person shooter, but you have, you know, this loot to find or to grind for, and we've seen this since Destiny 1. You always hit a wall after a certain point in time,
Yeah.
as opposed to where you look at you know, like an RPG or MMORPG, you find that players are consistently grinding for things. You know, like for WoW is a fantastic example. You have, you know, you have these super incredible rare like drops and mounts that players grind for, you know, hours on end to try and get something that has a 0.1% to drop.
Yep.
Like, Destiny does need to embrace that side, because it has the potential for it,
It does.
but it's not being squeezed enough.
Can't agree.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's going to be something that's addressed within Forsaken. It looks like there's certainly a lot more things to grind for, with random rolls coming back, with the changes to the weapon slot system and different types of weapons, and all new weapons and armor and all the usual stuff that's added in during content releases like this.
Sure.
I absolutely 100% agree. I would love it if Destiny was more like an MMO in those regards. It needs to be, you know, that carrot on the stick, something for people to chase after.
Yeah.
Hoping that's going to be something moving forward.
Because even like, for example, with Borderlands, you know, you farm a boss for example, one of my personal favorites, the bitch, SMG. You know, those are considered exotics, but they have different perks that they can roll with, and they're random. So it's like personally, for me, I needed all 4 bitches.
All 4.
I needed all.
You had to have a stable of bitches.
I needed my corrosive.
That's right.
I needed my electric, my slag, my fire. Like, I needed all of it, because that's such a great weapon. And I don't know, I feel like they could take away from that formula and
absolutely
and implemented it, it would be
Mhm.
amazing.
For me, it's little things, like really, really minute things. Do you guys know who Matt Oishi is? He did like that
Mhm.
Shaxx animation. He does animations and stuff for Destiny. He did a couple where like you could buy ramen at the ramen shop in the tower and
Yeah.
then like go sit down and eat it. And like just tiny little
things.
details like that are really what make a game livable to me.
Yeah.
And make me enjoy it just that much more. So those sort
See,
of things are what I would like to see.
I would love to see stuff like that within the actual patrol zones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have these amazing, beautiful spaces, and they, they could really take advantage of. And yeah, they're not. So
So much potential.
Open for
yeah,
the
there's
future,
a
man.
lot there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I don't think even the most ardent of salty Destiny haters would have to admit there's so much potential within the franchise. That's why it's lasted this long. Destiny
Yeah.
1 came out like what, 4 years ago?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a reason why it's still going strong, and it's because of there's so much potential within the game there, and really hope we start seeing it get tapped, because
Yeah, man.
there's a lot of stuff that they could work with there. Absolutely a lot
Do you
of stuff.
guys remember? Do you guys remember those videos that Bungie had, like, in I believe the first year? It was either the first or second year, where after the moments of triumph were up, it was like a video that told you all of your stats for like
Yeah.
how many
Oh,
hive you killed.
yeah.
Yeah, you remember
Yeah.
that? Like, and
Mhm.
it gave you like a title at the end,
Yeah.
like little elements like that too.
I like that. That was
Yeah.
neat.
Absolutely.
Just little stuff. Little
Mhm.
stuff.
Do
Little
y'all
things.
remember your titles?
No.
I do not.
No.
It was like Hive's Bane or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love more little things like that. Just added into the game. Little touches, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly got the room for it. 100% agree.
All right.
All right, I think that's a good enough stopping point for this week. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I
think so.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Well.
I would love to be able to turn on my AC again.
Yeah, remember, Sweaty
My
Nim. Wrapping it right back to the start of the show. Sweaty Nim, everybody.
If we started, TBL, if we started with sweaty, I am now a soup of myself.
Soupy Nim.
Nem soup.
He's evolved.
I'm
You're me and Mega last week. You're me and Mega
Yes.
last week.
Ooh,
Gross.
I feel you guys. It's
We're just
No, AC
passing
is
around
rough.
the soup.
It is a soupy Planet Destiny podcast. I like it. We're delicious and nutritious.
That's
Quote
untrue.
me on that. No, you can quote me
My
on it.
fan is fantastic. I will, like,
It's
it's $5 at Walmart.
fantastic.
It was great.
Give us the link. We need
Great.
to see those fans.
Mm.
It's awesome. It's just like,
I
Holding it
need that
down.
in my face.
Right on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 162 of the Planet Destiny podcast, the one before Guardian Gone. Ooh, we're about to start off another wonderful week in the world of Destiny 2. Before we get out of here, we're going to let you know where you can find us all across the internet, what we've got coming up, and give you a reason to tell Nim to turn his camera on, so we can see Soupy Nim. But if you're here watching live, now's your chance to go through the Destiny directory, or really whatever directory you want on Twitch, and tell us who we're going to be rating at the end of tonight's stream. Somebody good. First things first, Soup Nim, where can they find you? What you got going on?
You guys will find me this week here. The Planet Destiny Twitch page. I intend to be online a little bit more this week, grinding out those adventures and the regional chat. So you guys, right where you are, just come on by again later on in the week, and we're gonna have some fun.
Right on.
We'll try to announce it.
Yeah.
Moonvald.
Yeah, you can find me twitch.tv/Moonvald and a Twitter @Moonvald. Also on the Planet Destiny Twitter. That's where I live, basically, and that is Destiny News _net. So, yeah. What about you, Dan?
you can find me on Twitter @Danfinity, but the I's are L's because I was sick and tired of seeing Danfinity Twitch all the time. You can also find me twitch.tv/Danfinity. I'm playing Legend of Dragoon a lot this week. And then Guardian Con on Friday.
Yes.
I have a meetup at Hat Tricks 3:30 p.m. to 5. If you're hanging out there and you want to like hang out with some of my clanmates in current meta and people from the Bearded Legion community, come by there. It will be pretty cool.
Right on. And of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. This week, we've got our usual stuff. You can find me streaming and all that usual stuff on my YouTube channel, Twitch page, making videos for the PD YouTube channel and all that. And, assuming nothing horrible happens, seeing you guys at Guardian Con this weekend. But alright, that is going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 162 of the Planet Destiny podcast. We are your guide to the Destiny universe. Catch you all next week.